YouTube, McFashion is in the house. And look, we don't do all that hype, yelling, and crazy. When I'm in a collared shirt, I mean business. No bias. This is a real breakdown of how these playoffs will go. I put my time, I put my research in. Y'all see all the tabs at the beginning. We gonna get to it. Let's go ahead and dive into it. I got my notes right here, so don't mind me. I might have to read off a couple things. You know what I'm saying? But boom, let's get it started. So first game we go over, Bills, Broncos. What are we talking about here? Now, I think this game will be better than a lot of people think it will be because something I've noticed with the Bills is that versus real defenses, they cannot put up the points. You see what I'm saying? But the Broncos, they can't put up that much points. You know what I'm saying? They play kind of conservative. You really good defense, but offense is a mid offense, Buffalo. I think Josh Allen will edge it out and win the game. And if you want to see what I mean by the Bills don't put up that much points versus good defense, all right, let's go check them out, right? So, Cardinals, Dolphins, Jaguars versus the Ravens. They scored 10 points. All right, so boom. If y'all want to see what I'm talking about, right? Let's go ahead and look at their schedule, right? Now, this is earlier in the year. Things change throughout the year. So, Ravens, they put up 10 points. Texans, they put up 20 points. The Jets, so-so team, put up 23. Seahawks, move on. Anyways, it's been a tough season versus real defenses. I guess you could say 49ers, but they don't have an offense, so that affects the flow of a game. But we'll move on from here, right? So now, Packers, Eagles. Everybody said, they've played earlier this year. The Packers going to give them trouble and whoop-de-whoop. Look, Jair Alexander, he had a pick in that first game they played. Major key right there. He's on the IR. Then Christian Watson. Basically, I feel like that's the number one option on that team. ACL tear. He's out. You got the Eagles, man. That defense is, they make plays every week. They gonna force something. Interception, big hit, fumble, something. Something that defense gonna do is gonna come up huge. And that's what I see for this game for real. I'm gonna look down real quick. Xavier McKinney will be big for this game. Now, y'all know I like to jawn on Jalen Hurts and talk woo-de-woo, but Xavier McKinney is a real ball hawk. So him just lurking, being able to help on the right player, tips and overthrows win games. I think Jalen Hurts will have a couple overthrows. Now, if Xavier McKinney is in the right spot, last but not least, they got Saquon Barkley. And that defense. Eagles win. So then, boom. We move over to the Steelers versus Ravens. Now, y'all, when we talk Steelers, have y'all seen them play the past couple of weeks? Russell Wilson. He looked like he back on the Broncos. He looks terrible. But where are the receivers on that team? George Pickens. Oh my God. I don't know what George Pickens doing, man. I honestly don't know. They talking about he be frustrated. He don't get involved in the game early. And I feel like Mike Tomlin is one of them coaches. You disrespect him, he kind of like a father. Like, he going to have a point to prove. So I don't see that offense getting any better versus the Ravens. And come on, y'all. It's Baltimore. I feel like, everybody was talking, the Steelers, Lamar, kryptonite, voodoo. He went out there and whooped them. And guess what's going to happen? He going to whoop them again. Lamar. What we talking about? So now, boom. We go Commanders, Buccaneers. Now, y'all, Commanders, really good offense. Defense, I was suspect about the defense, but they've started to prove their point. They're actually a solid defense now. Marshawn Lattimore, you get him back for the matchup versus Mike Evans. Now, this is a matchup everybody talking about. A lot of Commanders fans, they're biased. Marshawn about to lock up Mike Evans. Now, let me tell y'all something about a hamstring injury. Somebody get a hamstring injury, they'll never be the same again. Yeah, but anyway, somebody has a hamstring injury, they're cooked. They will never be the same again because any type of quick, fast movements that they used to be making, they might tweak the hamstring or they might just need a whole offseason to recover. Guarding Mike Evans, yeah, he old, but 1,000 yards, 10 years in a row? Yo, that boy on fire right now. So I don't know about I think Mike Evans is still going to have a very decent game to very good game. But Marshawn Lattimore, he got some rust to knock off. He hasn't played that much this year. But, going against Mike Evans might hype him up. You know what I'm saying? But this game right here comes down to the fact that I think Baker Mayfield, y'all. Do y'all know Baker Mayfield is still suing his father? I really think he be out here thinking about that while he playing, y'all. I'm dead serious. No smirk on my face. Type shit. But yeah. I think Baker Mayfield, I think him turning the ball over, that's going to lead to the Commanders winning. So I got the Commanders right here. All right, so boom. We go Chargers, Texans. Now, when we go Chargers and Texans, right? I mean, the Texans, man, the offensive line has been terrible lately. Too many injuries. CJ Stroud, he hasn't been too good, but you could put it on the offensive line, kind of. The only bright spot they got on that team would be Nico Collins. Hopefully he can make something happen. And then Joe Mixon if Joe Mixon's playing. I didn't check the injury report. But then, man, that Chargers defense. Derwin James. I forgot the brother was still over there. Bosa. What? That's the only two things I need to say. And I'm pretty sure that defense is one of the top 11 defenses in the league right now. So when I say that, on offense, you got Herbert. J.K. Dobbins is back. They just signed Zeke. That's not a big deal at all. But J.K. Dobbins is back. Running backs can play a huge part. You know what I'm saying? Lad McConkey. Quentin Johnson. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say depend on that brother to make any type of plays, especially if he's going against Derek Stingley. But he looked good last week versus the Raiders. But it's the Raiders. Anyways, if you had to look at this game, I want to go Texans, bro, because I like the defense. But I just got to go Chargers. I got to go Chargers winning that game. And then we go Vikings, Rams. Now, Sam Darnold, he scarred me for life for what I had to see him play. I thought he was back in New York the way he was playing versus them Lions. But he's lucky. The Lions, Rams, two different teams. Rams defense, the number 26 defense in the league. What are we talking about here? The same defense that let Josh Allen put 42 on him. I didn't even look up their schedule to see how many points they really give up. I just know their defense is terrible, but the Vikings, Rams, so Vikings defense, Rams offense, Rams have a really good offense. But that defense for the Vikings, defense wins championships. We're in the playoffs now. Everybody's going hard. I'm sorry, Cooper Kupp, clamps. Puka gonna do his thing regardless. I will be putting in a slip. Puka gonna be on there. Whoever he going against, he gonna do his thing. But I would like to see the matchups of Byron Murphy versus Puka, and then Cooper Kupp versus Stephon Gilmore. And then Harrison Smith still over. Oh, my God, y'all. Y'all, this is going to be a good game right here. But I'm going to take the Vikings. You know, who wouldn't take the Vikings? All right, so boom. All right, so we got Chargers versus Chiefs, right? Now, Chargers versus Chiefs, when you looking at it, right? Off the top, you're like, man, Chiefs win that. Now, Chiefs have won 2 games versus the Chargers, but 1 score. I think one game they won 17-19. One game they won 10-17. Now you look at the Chiefs and you say they should have lost so many games this year, right? Okay. Now, they're well rested. That's what you got to lean back on. Like, oh, they well rested though, right? But them Chargers, man. Like, I really want to pick the Chargers for this game, right? But it's too much dark magic out there in Kansas City, man. They're not losing. Kansas City moves on. Talk about it. Now, Commanders, Lions. Now, this game right here, I had a very hard time really just trying to lock in and pick for real. Right? Holy. Both defenses are terrible. Now, like I said, the Commanders defense, they raised it up a little bit. But the Lions can score on anybody. So I'm sorry, Commander fans. Lions can score on anybody. But that Lions defense will give up points to anybody as well because they're so injured. This game right here will come down to the last snap. I'm telling you right now. Now, after I seen what the Lions did to the Vikings, because I was leaning towards the Commanders. I was like, I'm not going to lie, the Commanders probably going to win this game. But then I remember what the Lions did to the Vikings. Went crazy on them. Exposed them. So right here, you just got to take the Lions. Sorry, Commander fans. Now, I would not be surprised if the Commanders win this game. And it's a lot of great games, but sometimes you just got to pick, So then we go Ravens, Bills. Now, what have I told y'all? The Bills cannot put up points versus competent defenses, right? And this is not all about stats. But when you look at the stats, Ravens defense is top 10 in the league. Bills offense, top 10. But, y'all, let's look at the teams they're running up points on. They're running up points on, hold on, let me go. All right. The Dolphins, we've already talked about them. The Cardinals, let's be for real. The Jaguars, what are we talking about? The Titans, what are we talking about? I'm not even going to talk about the Seahawks. They did it again to the Dolphins. The Colts, are we serious right now? The Giants hung 45 points up on, all right. Chiefs, whatever. That's a Lions with no defense. Lost to the Patriots. No. They beat the Patriots right there, but they end up losing to the Patriots. And then gave up 44 points to the Rams. What are we talking about? Me personally, the Bills give up too many points, but they go back and score points. Lamar, Derrick Henry. This is the point in the playoffs where Zay Flowers matters. So without Zay Flowers, these picks could change. But me personally, I think Tylan Wallace, he's going to break out. A lot of people don't know who that is, but I know him from that Bengals game. I think he is good enough. He's going to pop out and do what he needs to do. So I got the Ravens winning this game. I feel like, the Bills just going to give up too much points, and then the Ravens defense is solid. Now, Vikings, Eagles. This is the best game of the playoffs. I'm not going to say of the excluding the Super Bowl. This Vikings-Eagles game, oh my God. If I ever had to pick a time to be a football nerd, this is one of them. Yo, you got Jalen Hurts versus Sam Darnold. Me personally, I think they're both two mid quarterbacks. But Sam Darnold is having a great year. Bad games can happen. So what you saw versus the Lions, you got to kind of erase it out of your head, right? Running backs. We go Saquon Barkley. Cam Akers and Aaron Jones. That duo in the playoffs is going to go crazy. I'm telling you right now. You go receivers. A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith. Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison. T.J. Hawkinson. Dallas Goedert. It is so much talent on that field offensively that it comes down to defense. Now, Guantanamo Bay, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. It's overhyped. Me personally, I think overhyped. If he's covering Justin Jefferson, kiss him goodbye. Justin Jefferson ain't playing with nobody out there. Whoever is on Justin Jefferson, he's cooking them. Same for A.J. Brown. I'm sorry, you can't guard A.J. Brown. He is too big, bruh. Pause. He's too big. And in fact, he run right. A.J. Brown like that too. It just is so hard. But Byron Murphy, Stephon Gilmore, Harrison Smith, safety. So he's playing over the top. He's going to play very smart. Byron Murphy just got to the Pro Bowl. Stephon Gilmore, we're not going to act like he don't got them clampers. What are we talking about? But then Cooper DeJean, Chauncey Gardner's been balling. Darius Slay. If Darius Slay is on Jay Jettas definitely cooking him. Not going to lie. I'm sorry. But what this game really came down to me. Oh, and you know what? I forgot. We didn't talk about the defenses, the real trenches, though. Offensive line, right? Wrote down some names, some stats that really stood out to me, right? On the Eagles, we got Lane Johnson, Milton Williams, Cam Jurgens, and Jordan Mailata, however you say his last name, whatever. These are some of the top interior linemen in the league. Top 10. Vikings, Jonathan Greenyard and Brian O'Neill. Solid too. But it's just like, this is such a trenchy game that me personally, I think Saquon Barkley will take over the entire game. Well rested. And I know the Giants gave him up. It gives me PTSD. But sometimes you got to be honest with yourself. I think the Giants, no, not the Giants. Hopefully we get here 10 years, something. Anyways, I think the Eagles will come up with a scheme, and they're that type of team that late in the fourth quarter or late halfway through the third, that's when Saquon takes over. I think that's what gives them the edge over the Vikings. The Vikings don't have a Saquon Barkley. Yeah, they got the receiving pieces and the tight ends to match up. Y'all don't have Saquon. But I wanted to go with the Eagles until I saw this. We go stats for rushing yards, right? Vikings are the second-rated defensive rushing team. Yeah, Eagles right there. Woo-de-woo. Cam Akers, Aaron Jones might. But you know what? Let's go passing. Let's go passing real quick, right? This will tell me what I need to know. This will tell me what I need to see. Oh, Lord, Eagles. Oh, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna stick with my decision. We go Eagles. Sam Darnold. Because first off, they right there top 10 in rushing. Then they sit passing. Jay Jett is still going to cook now. Don't get me wrong. All right, so now we go Chiefs-Ravens, right? This game right here was an easy decision for me because it's just like, y'all, when we look at the Chiefs, right, we see who they putting up points against. They struggle versus the decent teams. Yeah, they beat the Ravens earlier in the year, but that was when they were trying to figure out how to use Derrick Henry with Lamar Jackson, right? Bengals, 25-26. Y'all know Bengals are a very tragic team. 22 points on the Falcons. 17 on the Chargers. 26 on the Saints. 28 on the 49ers. 27 on the Raiders. Beat them by a score. All right, man. 30 on the Buccaneers in overtime. 16 on the Broncos. Broncos got a real good defense, though. 21 on the Bills. Y'all get where I'm going with this. Me personally, I don't believe they're going to be able to keep up with that Ravens offensive attack, and I think that defense will come to play. The Ravens know how to use Derrick Henry now. It's different. I feel like a lot is on the line for Lamar this season. I think Lamar will beat Patrick Mahomes this year. Lamar is in the Super Bowl, his first Super Bowl. Now, Eagles, Lions. What are we talking about right here? The Lions don't have a defense, y'all. And the Eagles got a defense. A really good one. So, Jahmyr Gibbs, I love you, brother. You still probably going to do your thing. But, man, Amon-Ra, Cooper DeJean, if he guarding you in that slot, you better watch out. But Amon-Ra like that too now. But y'all defense is just terrible, bruh. And then the Eagles going to be able to hold that ball on y'all if they want. If they want to run it with Saquon and Saquon do his thing, y'all, it's not too much to talk about. Obviously, the Eagles outweigh the Lions. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl as well. So the Super Bowl matchup. The Ravens, the Eagles. Now, earlier in the year, I kind of went viral a little bit for the way I was talking about the Eagles versus the Ravens. This is early in the season now. Now, I felt like Lamar Jackson was not playing like Lamar Jackson in that game. And of course, delusional football fans, he just making an excuse for Lamar, whoop-de-whoop. Y'all, Lamar Jackson was playing, looking down the field for options half the game. Run! You got legs. That's what you specialize in. Running the ball. You do this. They used to call you a running back. But you showed him you can pass. I feel like in some moments he be trying to show that he can pass the ball. He knows early in the year he lost because of that. So he will not do it. The score of the game was 19-24. Yeah, the Ravens scored a late touchdown or whatever. But guess how they had end up getting down the field on the last little drive or whatever? Lamar ran for like 50 yards. I think it is hard to key in on him because you got Derrick Henry too. Now, Zay Flowers in this game matters. This is where Zay Flowers matters at. But I'd say the Ravens like to go through their tight ends a lot. So Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, those are tough matchups for safeties. But Chauncey Gardner, he's like that. Cooper DeJean, like that. But I think if anything, if Zay Flowers sat out the whole playoffs or whatever, Zay Flowers would be back by this game. And of course, Zay Flowers affects this decision a lot. You got the Eagles, though. Very OP team. Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae. But guess what, man? I don't believe in Jalen Hurts enough to win no Super Bowl. Y'all can call it hating if you want. But look, y'all might lose versus the Vikings. The Vikings might take a spot right here, which ultimately means the Lions might be in the Super Bowl versus the Ravens. And Lamar and them killing them. They killing the Lions. They killing the Vikings. Regardless of how it goes, this man, Lamar Jackson, will have his first ring this year.